Welcome back to WGAL's debate between the two candidates running for Pennsylvania's 11th congressional district.
Okay, we're going to talk about money. You've both raised about $1.5 million, I believe, for your campaign so far. How do you decide who to take your money from, and is there any donation you would or have turned down? We begin with Congressman Smucker.
Well, I've been very fortunate to have support from all across this district, from individuals in dollar amounts ranging from just a few dollars to people who have contributed significantly from their resources to support my campaign. I think there is a contrast here that is worth talking about. 60% of Ms. King's dollars have come not only from outside of the district, but from outside of Pennsylvania. Significant portions of her dollars have come from San Francisco, from New York City. These are literally liberals who, leftists really, who are paying Ms. King's salary to advance their socialist agenda here in the 11th District of Pennsylvania. What does someone from San Francisco know about our values here in Lancaster County and here in York County? But again, I've been very fortunate. We obviously had a campaign in the primary as well, and unfortunately it takes dollars to get the message out about the issues that are important in the race. And so I've been very pleased to see the kind of support that I've received from people all across this district.
Okay, you're looking on with dismay, Jess King.
Not dismay, but just some facts. So I'm really proud that we've run a campaign that people have gotten really excited about. We've raised more money than any Democrat ever has in the seat that's centered on Lancaster County. And I've also made a commitment to not take a dime from corporate PACs. I think this is essential in our political moment to talk more about where money comes from, especially if it has a profit motive attached to it. There is too much influence of special interests in our politics. And so just as a contrast, 52% of Congressman Smucker's money has come from PACs, like none of mine has come from PACs. Individuals have funded our campaign, and 70% of his campaigns have come from out of the state. Ours is like 55% out of state. So he gets more money from out of state than I do. And our money comes from people. More than half of his money comes from PACs. I think that's a really important distinction to think about who we work for, what it means to build a country that's of the people, by the people, for the people. Ring a bell for anybody? That is so essential in our elections. When you think about the influence that special interests have on our elected officials, on our politics today, we need to talk about how we get big money out of politics, period.
So there's a website. It's called OpenSecrets.com. They do a good job of identifying where candidates' dollars come from. I encourage folks to look at that, because the numbers that were just cited are absolutely incorrect.
They're updated as of today.
Ms. King says, follow the money. You want to follow my supporters, you walk around this district and other areas of Pennsylvania. To follow her money, you have got to get a plane ticket to San Francisco. Yes, it is true.
Congressman Smucker, the same is true for you. We know that in today's day, campaign fundraising comes from all over the country. More of his money comes from outside this district than mine. If he's making that claim against me is like a big issue. Look in the mirror, sir.
Okay.
Well,
thank you.
Well, we know what fact check I'll do tomorrow on News 8. That's a plug ahead to tomorrow. Okay, this question starts with Ms. King. The York County coroner confirms 105 people have died just this year from heroin and or fentanyl overdoses, and dozens more are suspected to have died of those overdoses. What steps should the federal government take to combat the opioid crisis?
Great question, thank you. Pennsylvania is number 4 in the nation for overdose, for deaths. So this is a huge epidemic in Pennsylvania, and so many people have been impacted by this in this district in particular. So I think to start with, we make sure that when we think about how addictions get started in the first place with the opioid crisis, there's been so much around pharmaceutical companies and some connections that there are with doctors and overprescribing or incentivizing doctors to overprescribe opioids to start with. I think we need to make sure that pharmaceutical companies are held accountable for that, and that I know that there's process already in place where doctors are reducing the numbers of opioids that they're prescribing to start with. That's so important. We also need to really focus on rehabilitation and not stigmatization. We need to make sure that people have the access to rehabilitation and care that they need to beat the addiction. This is a great argument for Medicare for All, too, and making sure that people have access to health care in this country. This is really, you look at the ACHA that Congressman Smucker voted for would have cut Medicaid support for low-income folks to be able to get addiction treatment. That's a huge thing when we think about people that are impacted by this. Low-income folks that can't get treatment, if we're cutting those supports, how in the world are they going to get well? We need to make sure that we're investing in treatment and support for folks and holding pharmaceutical companies accountable. This is another reason why I don't take money from pharmaceutical PACs, because I also think I'm working for people and not for the pharmaceutical interests in this moment.
Thank you, Congressman.
I've had a lot of discussions with individuals about the opioid epidemic. Not one person ever who's been impacted by it has brought up corporate PACs or dollars coming from the pharmaceutical companies. That's just ludicrous. I mean, this is an epidemic that has affected people all across our community, every socioeconomic background. It's hard to find someone in the community, probably hard to find someone in this room who doesn't have a family member or a friend of a friend of someone that family member of a friend that hasn't been impacted by this. And I had a cousin whose son passed away, unfortunately, as a result of the addiction. We do have some groups of stakeholders in York County, Lancaster County, that are leading the way to combat this. It takes cooperation at all levels to ensure that we do this. We've stepped up at the federal level. I'm proud to say just in the past few weeks, a package of bills has been signed into law that will provide additional resources to local governments and local agencies and so on. We'll provide additional tools. We'll ensure that we're doing all that we can to stop the flow of fentanyl and other drugs that are coming in. But this is an epidemic we have to solve.
There are investigations ongoing on pharmaceutical companies for overprescription or pushing doctors to overprescribe. This is not ludicrous. It is a huge issue related to industry connections in this as well that need to be part of the discussion.
All right, thank you both very much.
Another quick break, then more questions for the candidates when we come right back.